Good afternoon. Good afternoon. God bless everybody. For all you guys working out in this heat, man, saying a prayer for you. I've been there and done that. I know it's awful hard. Stay safe, stay hydrated, find some shade when you can. So anyway, real quick, been thinking a lot about something I wanted to talk about, and it's not necessarily going to make a lot of people happy. It's probably going to upset quite a few people, but it's not really necessarily my intention to argue or to hurt people but I don't know. I've been thinking about it and I want to talk about it, so here we go. So, there's a whole lot of deception going on right now, and there's a whole lot of theology out there, replacing Israel and this and that, and, there's more than one way, and Jesus was this. And anyway, most of you who are true believers that walk in spirit, and, you're able to discern these things. You see them, and it's pretty easy to see, but a lot of people argue back and forth about the rapture, and they say, oh, well, it's not really a salvation issue. And I tend to agree. I do not believe the rapture is a salvation issue, but I do believe the Trinity is. And I have to say that when you deny the Trinity, you're denying Christ and who He is, and God and His power. And I believe denying God is definitely a salvation thing, right? Now, we all read the Bible, and we all read different things into different scriptures, and I get that, fully aware of that. But everybody's interpretation of scripture can't be right, and we always have to use scripture to judge scripture, right? That's just how we do that. So I tend to lean toward the Trinity being true in the scriptures that I've read and the studying I've done on it. I tend to believe that when you deny the Trinity, one, you're denying God who He is, and two, if we're being honest about it, it's almost a belief that the Muslims carry. And what I mean by that is that they don't deny Jesus, but they deny who He really was. And in my opinion, when you deny the Trinity, you're doing the same thing. And I think that most people that don't believe in the Trinity, if you look into what they do believe, there's probably a lot of parallels and similarities between what they believe and what Muslims believe. Now, I'm not wanting to argue with anybody, and if you come on here and comment, I welcome any comment that is a thought out comment that's not just an angry screaming and yelling comment. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think people should think, and there's nothing wrong with that. And someone putting their input on what I just said, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I welcome it. But I will not scream and fight and argue and listen to a lot of stupid stuff, right? Because it's just not necessary. You're entitled to your opinion just as well as I am, and I'm more than willing to listen to a well thought out conversation, or whatever you can bring to the table. But if what you're going to bring to the table is yelling and screaming and all that, you just might as well don't waste your time, because I'm just going to delete the comment and move on and block you. But I think it's something that you should really look into and think about. And I do believe there are many things that as Christians we don't always agree on that are not salvation issues. Again, I think the rapture is one of them. But I don't believe denying the Trinity is not a salvation issue. In my opinion, you're more or less saying God is not who he is. And two, it, like I said, it leans into a Muslim belief system. And, you know, I don't believe it's impossible for someone who stands behind the pulpit and calls themselves a Christian to intertwine Muslim beliefs, because we're in the days of deception. You know, ear-tickling gospel and all those things. And a lot of the Trinity thing, to me, when people deny it, it's kind of the same argument that the Muslim faith has. You know, oh, well, God said no one's ever seen him, and blah, 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 blah. So I caution you that if you follow someone who's teaching you, and that is their belief system, I really caution you to pray and look into that. And really ask God for guidance on that. And again, not wanting to argue with anybody, not trying to upset anybody. I'm basically expressing, from my reading and studying of the Word, my beliefs and what some people may not be able to see as a deception. That's the thing about deception, is it doesn't come with a big flashing sign that says, I'm deceiving you, I'm deceiving you. It sounds right, it feels right, but there's something just a little bit off. And as we all know, that's the name of the game in spiritual warfare, right? You know, the devil doesn't, and his demons, they don't come out with these huge signs and say, I'm gonna, convince you to do something that's good for you. It sounds good, but it's not. And I think this is something that should be taken pretty serious. And I think that I'm just asking people to take a minute before you react and flip out and lose your mind and get all bent out of shape, to think about this. And that's all. It's just kind of been weighing on me to talk about it. And I know there's a lot of serious stuff going on right now. And as always, I want people to seek the Lord while he's available, and I pray for everyone who walks in the darkness that they find the light. But there's a lot of us that think we're walking in the light that are walking in a false light and are deceived. And I believe this may be one of those. So please comment, stitch, let me know what you think. And again, I ask, just, be calm about what you say. I didn't come on here bashing anybody, and if it came off that way, that was not my intent. I'm just trying to provoke thought. Sometimes we're just wrong, and this could be, maybe I'm wrong. I don't claim to be the authority. I just claim to know that I study the Word heavily and try to be quiet and listen to God and what he says. So anyway, God bless y'all. If anybody needs a prayer or anything, please hit me up. Please take the time to watch this and leave a response if it's a good, a calm one. Thank you all. God bless you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Look forward to hearing from everybody.